Hey trans fan, tell me if this story resonates with you. I feel too old to transition. I know I've been trans from a very young age, but X, Y, or Z was always in the way. My upbringing, where I lived, my family, my parents' religious beliefs, etc., etc. Then I hid it away, and maybe I got married. Maybe I joined the military. Maybe I went into construction or something along those lines. And I knew for a very long time that this was something that I really wanted to do, but life kind of started lifing at me. And then I finally came to the realization that I was trans and I started seeing other people transitioning and doing it successfully. And then that thing hits you all of a sudden, that feeling of there's no way I can do it. I'm too old. I'm bald. I'm this. I'm that. I'm way overweight. I'm carrying way too much muscle. I'm married. I have kids. Um, I work in a career that is very male dominated. My family would disown me. I would lose everybody. I would never make a beautiful woman. I'll never be successful. I hear this story or some permutation of this story every single day. Um, Yeah. And we feel this way. It is the reality. If you're 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 70, it is the universal feeling. And we have some girls in our group that are in their 70s. These are boss bitches, I got to tell you. Um, they finally said, fuck it. They said, you know what? I got to do this. I've got to be me. And I don't care what the costs are. And maybe I will never be this or I'll never be that, but at least I'll get to be me. Sound familiar? Anyways, yeah. So the story that I hear from a lot of people, though, is the one where there's so much sadness about the time before. And I did a video about that a couple days ago about mourning the past. Um, this is a little bit different, though. That's being able to move on from the past. But what if we could avoid it? What if we could save ourselves from more of that bad thing, of mourning more of our time lost? All we've got is today, right? All we've got is direction, the direction we're going, and today. Everything else, maybe, maybe. Is it going to be the one where you start walking in the direction of yourself? Or is it going to be the one where X, Y, or Z is blocking you from living your truth? Oh man, I got to tell you, as somebody who does this every single day, talking to thousands of people, it seems like, well, I mean, not every day, but in overall, um, that feeling is such an incredibly overpowering one for so many of us. And for many of us, sometimes it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years until we finally say, it's time. So I am trying to help you avoid that. Because I don't think that people realize if it stands in front of you, it will always stand in front of you. Imagine driving a car and you see a big speed bump, and you just stop your car and you're waiting for the speed bump to go away. Guess what? It's not going anywhere. If anything, the more you look at it, the bigger it looks. And you're like, shit, I'm never going to be able to cross over this speed bump. But then you finally get the courage to drive on over the speed bump. And then eventually you start seeing the speed bump in your rearview mirror. And it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. It's kind of what transitioning is like. If that barrier stands in front of you, it will always stand in front of you until you finally decide to go over it, pass it. And retrospectively, when you look back, you're like, hey, wait a second. I can't believe I let it do this to me. I can't believe I let that thing do that to me. I don't know what that thing is for you. Maybe it's a marriage. Maybe it's a job. Maybe it's family. Um, I'm calling here. I'm calling you from the future. Um, that's what happened to all of us. All of us who chose ourselves. Every single one of us who decided that they had to live their authentic life. We all did the same thing. I realized that I had to be willing to sacrifice everything. Didn't lose everything, but I had to be willing to sacrifice everything. So when you start getting good at seeing the speed bumps and being like, oh, I remember this speed bump. And I remember the last time I passed one and how small it got eventually. Now, this isn't just for girls who are at the beginning of their transition or ones who are before transitioning. This is also for the girls who are in it. Because I think a lot of times, I hate using the word complacency, but I kind of like to use the word maybe happy-ish, you know? They have done a lot and they've struggled and they worked hard. And at some point, they kind of stopped working hard. Um, but that's not how life goes, I don't think, you know? Um, if you do that, then even if you weren't transitioning, eventually you're just going to find yourself stagnant. And if you're stagnant, that means you don't have good direction. If you don't have good direction, then you're going to stop growing and stop evolving and stop your transition and stop lifing properly. Transitioning was the cure in so many ways to my life. I now love life. I look forward to every day. Try to make every day living in the moment as much as possible. Also with an eye on the future, realizing that I actually want to live that future. But it also means wanting to grow and become more me because I kind of starting to like me. So, how do we go from this place where something is standing in front of you? At some point, I promise you, you're going to come to the realization that you absolutely probably are going to have to do this in some way or form. Now, you may do things that manage that desire to transition. Maybe it's cross dressing, calling it cross dressing, when it's really just trying to do something else. There could be 100 things that people do to manage their desire to transition. But the longer you wait, the more mourning you're going to have to do, and the less time you're going to have as yourself. Oh my God. I implore you to really spend time thinking about that because this is the thing I hear every day. I'm too old. Oh my God. When a 30-year-old tells me they're too old, I'm like literally like crazy because actually in my mind, unless you are going to transition pre puberty, the ideal time, at least from the things that I've seen, is like, early to mid 30s is kind of like your sweet spot. You get a lot of life on the other side, but you still have gotten to have a lot of experiences, and maybe you've gotten, a great job, a great education, kids, whatever. It's all in how you look at things. Um, for me, it's just a continuation of a journey. I don't look at any of my old life and think, you know, I didn't, I don't, I didn't want it. I regret it because really, those are the things that shaped me to become the person that I am now. So, if you're feeling too old, um, everybody feels that. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 year old. Um, don't wait. Don't wait. Please don't wait. Think about it. Spend the time now so that you can actually move to that next place. And that is really, really, really what I would love to hear. I would love to hear what you have to say. And for those of the girls who have transitioned, and do you see of your transition as a success? Are you happy or are you happy-ish? Have you gotten to the place that you imagined at the beginning or anywhere along the journey? Are you there yet? If you are, I fucking love it. I love to say it, and I'd like to do this thing where we play this game called play the tape to the end. So if you took your life right now and you just extrapolated it as is, could you do it? Would you be happy living that life? You know, you're going to get progressively older, and I remember that one of the pictures that made me really push me in towards my transition was I saw a picture of my dad as an older guy, and I was like, hell no. I was like I was like that would be an ultimate prison. So for those of you who are in transition, mid transition, transitioning for 20 years, did you become complacent? Did you stop growing? Did you stop becoming? Did you get into those comfortable places and stop getting uncomfortable with what was next for you? I love to tell our people in our programs, um, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. The better you get at doing that job, the better you know what direction you want to go, the better you can be at actually fulfilling all of the things that you want. And I'm almost 50. I'll be 50 in way too soon. And I gotta tell you, I've made up for lost time. Definitely. I have made up for lost time. I started transitioning at 43, 44. But, you know, pandemic, this and this and that. You know, I was 45, 46 by the time I got to start living as myself, right? And because of the pandemic. And but I made up for lost time. The last 2 years have filled 10 years of life into the last 2 years. So I'm kind of working backwards now. Anyways, love you all, and happy transitions to all of you, and I hope that it goes well. And if you need any help, let me know. Message me down below, and we'll get you that.